cup of coffee with Scream.
Pizza wings.
Pizza wings.
Someone needs to make it a thing.
Be.
Someone needs to make it a thing or make it a restaurant.
Yeah. Because Kid and I were talking that it was one of those, I did splurge because we don't do that often anymore. Not that we ever could on a regular basis. But we have a local pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually have a gluten-free pizza.
Yeah, they do.
And it's actually the best gluten-free pizza that I have eaten.
Which is awesome. What is it made out of? It's made out of cauliflower,
I think.
Cauliflower?
But it doesn't. A lot of the cauliflower stuff is just nasty. And I can eat damn near anything, but that stuff, it's like, no.
It's like, yeah, get that away from me.
I like fresh cauliflower. I like steamed cauliflower. But as far as some cauliflower that has been frozen and then cooked, and it's no.
It's that frostbit.
Uh-huh. You know how when the lights were out and we had to throw some things away, and one of the things that you had to throw away was the broccoli that had thawed
and some cauliflower.
And you know that smell?
Oh yeah, that's a bad smell.
That's how it tastes.
That's a nauseating.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's cruciferous vegetables if they're not fresh.
I have no idea what you just said because that is above my pay grade.
Cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I don't know that cabbage is in that family or not.
Okay.
But those are vegetables that are best to be prepared. Now I like as far as frozen Brussels sprouts, but I think it's because they're so dense. You hate Brussels sprouts, period.
If they're cooked right. Some butter, salt, pepper.
Yeah, that's it. Just steamed.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Very simple. But as far as whatever they do to that cauliflower, no.
I don't think cauliflower is very edible outside of either raw. You just eat
steamed.
it, you wash it, and then you get some ranch dip, and then you dip it in it and eat like that, or steamed.
The steamed I like. It's just very simple. And again, you can just eat it as is. I don't require even the salt and the butter and all that stuff on it.
But somehow they make it into a crust, a pizza crust.
I don't want to think about it too hard, but we had gone to, and it was one of these supposedly upper end pizza places in the region, and whatever their gluten-free thing was, I would have done better eating the cardboard box.
That's basically what you were eating was the cardboard box.
And that was Mellow Mushroom. I will name names.
Mellow Mushroom. I love y'all.
But
y'all
that was
is
a fail.
Expensive, and y'all's that was seriously
it was a fail. I don't
know
what kind of
pizza
ancient
was
grains.
Cardboard.
When it said something about ancient grains,
you know what that is? That's whole wheat.
They literally took it from thousands of years ago and reconstituted it.
Whole wheat.
No, I think
that's full on cardboard.
No, I don't know if it was like quinoa and some of this
whole wheat quinoa,
hippie dippy shit stuff.
Some other nuts and seeds and twigs thrown in there.
It was bad. It was bad. But now the cauliflower crust at this little pizzeria here near the tiny town, or in the tiny town near us, is really, really good.
Yeah. It's really good.
And got some hot wings. Of course, Kid could have his own pizza because he can do the wheat thing.
The pepperoni, olives, some jalapenos. They're really good.
Yeah.
What in my ear?
But the wings, I mean, they're tiny. They're tiny. I don't know what's that. And so somehow discussing
it's
this,
like
it ended up with pizza wings. And I'm like, yes, that's something else to disappoint review Rob with.
Freudian slip was pizza wings.
Yeah. So it's just been one of those. The energy was better today than it was the day before. And that's good because the day before it was crushing my ass. I mean, it truly was.
Yeah. It's not good energy.
I had been dragged. And I have pumpkin spice. So I'm going to be slurping.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
The Green Mountain pumpkin spice is better than Starbucks. Yeah.
I have no idea if that's valid or not. I'm going to have to take your word because I don't drink it.
It's good stuff. It really is. But we did have to go to the Wall of Mart. I did manage to drag myself out of the house. I was feeling better at the time because the energy level is just roller coaster right now. And we have cold weather, which never helps.
It hurts.
It really does. But was walking through there, and we looked as far as the boxes of the orange orbs of happiness on the front of the wall of the mart. And I'm like, are they small? And they were smaller
really small
than some of the other ones.
And before we got up to it, I was like, what is it, a box? What's in the box? And it's like disappointment. I said disappointment before even looking in it, and we looked in, it was disappointment.
It wasn't horrible, they were just small.
Well, that's the disappointment.
At least there wasn't some. If it doesn't take a lot of sense, if there is a pumpkin that has gone to the bad, that has gone to the dark side, get it out of the box before it makes the others spoil. That's true of any product.
But no one, I bet you none of them down there is going to sift through that box of pumpkins.
No, I doubt it. But walking through there and going to the Halloween section, now we're recording this on October the 16th, okay? They already had the Halloween stuff 25% off. And I'm like,
which is bullshit.
It is bullshit. It's stupid. And it's like, I went out there where they normally have their gardening section. They had some of those ginormous boxes. What do you call those boxes? They were the ginormous ones. You had a name for them.
The Gaylords? The Gaylord boxes?
Maybe. Sounds good to me. That's what they called them at Goodwill. And
yeah,
they're just ginormous cardboard boxes. And they had those with the orange plastic pumpkins, which I'm a fan of those. And fake carvable pumpkins, which that just confuses me.
Is it a styrofoam?
Why?
Is it a styrofoam pumpkin?
I don't know.
Fake carvable pumpkin, that has to be a styrofoam. Why not carve a real one?
You know.
It's like either way, you're gonna have to deal with sharp tools.
And so I went in, I saw that, and then the rest of it was the season of greed, and I just turned around and walked back out.
I didn't even go back there.
You didn't miss nothing.
I did. I saw it through the window, and I'm like, nope.
And I will tell you this, as far as affordable, and I'm talking affordable like under $10 and stuff like that, there were damn few camping flashlights, tent lights, any of that. That shit was gone.
Yeah, all of it.
See, people, and it's
almost
interesting because some of the areas that got just devastated by Helene, that has been the primary focus, and rightfully so, because it had snowed in parts of North Carolina last night, and it just really concerned me because you got people in tents out there right now.
Yeah.
And so, but
this early,
well, yeah, of course it did. But in this area and the town where we traveled to, we had not been there since Helene went through. And I wasn't sure how much damage, because it's a higher elevation than we are. I don't think that and now it may have been, right there in the town, I didn't notice any damage.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed to the main roads and stuff the back roads, because it's not even going to fight the interstate, because all that stuff has been from I-40 is now on I-81 and will be for a minute. So not going to fight that. But the devastation was more in some of the areas, I mean, we had trees and stuff down. We've still got trees down.
Yeah, I mean, it did a lot of damage. But some of these areas, like, for example, Damascus.
Oh, Damascus that's, my God, it washed out under the roads.
Yeah.
In some of those places. And
that place up in Tennessee.
Oh, Irwin and Unicoi County and stuff like that. But you know what? That was one of the things, watching the footage that I had seen. I mean, it was horrific. And people don't understand where those trees came down. The water and the mud and everything just pushed all that. And we're talking huge piles of debris.
Yeah, it was intense.
The best thing that they could do is just have a giant bonfire. But down in Irwin and stuff, that area was relatively flat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
God love them.
Because that winter is coming, we've got temps that's been in the 30s at night and stuff. It's supposed to warm back up a little bit next week, but this is something as far as preparing for winter, because power outages happen here frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can be in the middle of summer. For whatever reason, we will have power outages.
Yeah, you'll just go.
Yeah. Normally not as long.
No, it'll be off for like an hour or two.
Oh, we've had it for days.
Yeah, we have had it for days before. But that was just...
Yeah.
Something else happened.
Yeah. But that was
luckily we had heat.
It looks like they would have gotten their stock back in by now. And that was just like, not only was that disappointing about the 25% off and them trying to step on everybody else's lane, but there were people at the registers, and somebody had, as far as the ability to make change.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had taken their till or had not left them with the proper amount of cash.
They had no change. Or nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, who does that? Who was the manager that, if they switched shifts or whatever... And it's just like there was an older gentleman. Well, I say older gentleman. He is probably my age and may have been younger. Anyhow, that he was in line in front of me. He had already put his items on the conveyor belt, and I told him they had opened up another register, and I told him, I said, "You're welcome to. I'll help you move your stuff." I think they were trying to scramble to figure out what the hell to do.
Mm-hmm.
The what the hell to do was
because they could only take,
not to prevent that.
Legit, she couldn't take cash at all. She could still use card, just not, no change.
Yeah, and there are still quite a few people around here that use cash.
Mm-hmm. People not doing their job right.
It was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And that's just like the kid. But one of the managers, I think she was the manager, I'm not sure. They were talking about how they were getting ready to basically lay people off. Because the kid that was our cashier, God love him, he's a little Gen Z. And he must have been 16 or 17, but he was working. And he said that they were getting ready to cut his hours. Because if you are not 18, you are legally only allowed to work a certain amount of hours, which I'm thinking that's stupid. Encourage children to work.
They do that due to child labor laws.
Some of that stuff goes against some of these people that they're claiming are children. It really does. But because I am as I am. And I'm like, wait. You're telling me that right before the holiday seasons, they're laying people off?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah.
And I bet you.
Like, corporate has lost their minds.
They've lost it a long time ago. I bet you it's to save them money so that they can get more income.
See, that makes no sense. That's counterproductive. Fiscally, that's counterproductive, because if you have people that take the time to go into a store and shop, and you don't have the proper amount of staff to take care and get people, process them through there with their purchases quickly, people are less likely to go back into the store because it's easier to shop online. And are they forcing people to shop online?
Partially. They flat out don't want to pay them to work there.
Well,
They don't like their employees. Are you crazy?
let's face it. Amazon and everybody going, oh, they're evil. Let me tell you something. Y'all don't know the lack of options we have in these areas. You really don't. Amazon has better selection and a lot of times better prices than the Wall of Mart.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
You got to realize it takes us, depending on traffic and everything like that, 30 to 45 minutes to get to the Wall of Mart from where we are. Either way, it takes us 45 minutes basically to get any damn where. People have no clue.
People really don't have any idea unless they live out in here for a little bit.
They bitch if they have to drive 15 minutes, they think that's out of the way. And I'm like,
yeah. It's like,
I have no clue.
Literally.
That's like to go to Sam's. It takes us, one way is an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's if traffic is okay. And that's the reason with gas prices and stuff like that. It's always juggling. You have to factor the fuel costs and wear and tear of the vehicle in with, are you saving money?
That makes me think, speaking of wear and tear on vehicles, I would hate to live in one of these places that basically force you to drive bumper to bumper.
I couldn't stand it. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. I have lived in some of those areas in the past. It wasn't as bad then as it is now. Nope.
It's like literally, basically, it's like,
it wears on your soul. It does. It wears on your soul.
I mean, that's a lot going on at once.
Mm-hmm. Constant
and there's
noise.
Very little grounding spots.
Right. And I think that you've got areas like that. I think anything holds energy, even that includes concrete and steel and different things like that. And I think that a lot of that becomes a cauldron. I think it just holds all that negativity and different things like that. And like you said, lack of grounding, lack of nature.
Mm-hmm. I can see how it becomes a cauldron. Mm-hmm. I can really see that. Basically like one big antenna. Mm-hmm. One big antenna for negative energy to go places.
Yeah. That is not how humans function at their best.
No.
And it's like, I think people, when they're young, they have a tendency, it's like, oh, I want to go to the big city and I want to experience. And once you've seen it, it's like, yeah, I want to go home now.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, it's like, oh no, this is where I need to be.
To do what? To see what? To experience what?
And usually they're trying to, party, trying to party, do some sort of like performance arts, get art community, stuff like that. Entertainment business.
Yeah, we've seen lately, big time, what all that stuff's about.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see, over on Rumble, Robert Phoenix has 15 minutes of Flame, OV as in Valentine. Mm-hmm. Go back and watch his show from today, which was October 16th, because he has a lot of insights into a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. Now, I will admit, sometimes he gets a little overly graphic. I mean, he's just telling the truth. The stuff is as it is.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like our buddy the other day, that I think it's just where I'm, hypersensitive right now, and it's just sort of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Leave me blissfully ignorant about some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Scorpio rising. They do that. They will delve into those depths of darkness.
They will, and sometimes it will fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of us that is not in our chart, it can be detrimental. But I do urge people to go and listen to what he says, because he was explaining some of the music industry, their recent problems and soon to be bigger problems.
What was he talking about as far as their recent problems? Did he?
Uh-huh.
What was he saying else was going to come, that Beyonce and Jay-Z is going to
fall?
fall?
You're going to have to go over there on 15 Minutes of Flame and listen to what the man has to say. There is no way that I could try to condense that down into a 30-second soundbite.
I think Jay-Z has been using Beyonce in a lot of ways.
I think that all these people that do these things,
I also think that Beyonce's
and get involved with some of these things, and it's like I hear about this stuff and I'm like, there is nothing that, for what? Ultimately, for what? More stuff that you can't take with you?
Attention. Fame.
You can't take that with you either.
No.
But as far as how you got the stuff and the attention, do you take that with you? Yeah. You got to stand before God and give an account. And it's just like, nope. I would much rather be poddling.
Yep.
Even though, as far as disappointed a little bit about the Halloween stuff, and I really shouldn't be, because when I was growing up, there wasn't all this stuff with Halloween. It just was not. You made your own stuff.
Yeah, but they still sold stuff in stores.
Not that much, for real. When I was little, remember they had the little Halloween costume things in a box.
Uh-huh.
And my God, that was the best day of the year. To see those wonderful Halloween costumes in the box. It was magical. You had the little false face.
Yeah.
and stuff.
They were creepy. Those false faces were really creepy.
And they were uncomfortable and hot.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're not very breathable at all. And I had one of those mothers. Put a coat on. It's one of my costumes. Put a coat on.
It's not just you. Everyone.
That's why I did not. Your mama learned.
Yeah.
Because your mama made stuff out of sweatsuits, made costumes out of sweatsuits.
You did.
And
I was always burning up.
Thermal underwear.
Yeah.
That you can wear under a store-bought costume.
It's always burning up.
It has snowed on
I was
Halloween
grateful
here before. Not huge amounts of snow, but it has snowed in this area before.
Yeah.
So
it gets real cold up in the mountains.
Yeah.
It gets what? Say hi to Voodoo.
Yeah, oh God, that's the weasel.
Voodoo baby. She's not an actual weasel.
She looks like a weasel. If she gonna be stretched, look like a Tootsie Roll here in a minute. If she keeps messing, it's clawing on the couch. She got a long body as it is.
She's in a mood.
She's gonna have more of a long body. But, and it's just the seasons have changed. All this stuff is cyclical. And I guess that includes items in stores. It was just there for a while. Halloween was like the second largest holiday.
Yeah.
Because it is a guilt-free holiday.
It is. It's like you get to dress up, you get to act like a fool on that day.
Well, we do that every day, but...
Well, I mean, like, you get to act like a complete fool and just nobody will give you the side eye.
Right. But this year, honestly, with everything else that is blowing up in the world, it has not... Even the joy of the season with that has just been like this little pumpkin here. It's been deflated.
Sad little deflated pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
I like the sad little deflated pumpkins too.
They
deserve love.
They have their own just essence to them. And we we leave them on the porch until we absolutely are forced. Until we have to get a snow shovel and kid pitch them over on the side.
As soon as I see black starting to form on the inside, I'm pitching them. I'm not getting back to the shoveling. That's gross. That's nasty.
Turnips. We need to get some turnips worthy of carving again, also.
Turnips end up peeing as they get older after they're carved.
Yeah. But, so if you're one of these that's late getting some of the Halloween things and stuff like that, or you're looking for a bargain, there were a lot of things that were already just gone.
Like what? Were the wigs gone?
That is not one of the things that I focus on. I know some of the decorations that were good were gone.
Was the skeletons gone?
I know they did have some skeletons.
Okay.
They had these that were just hideous. Of that, what is that movie with Bette Midler?
Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
And they were plastic with some cloth bodies.
They were horrible.
Yeah, they're ugly.
And so, I don't know. That was just one of those movies anyhow.
I always loved that movie.
So
the first one. I've never seen the second one.
I don't know whether I did or not.
I don't think that you saw the second one because it just recently came out, and one of them was on Roombas.
Some of these people, when they get political, it ruins their work.
Yeah.
Because you can't watch it and unknow something.
Mm-mm. It sort of taints the image of the person and the rest of their art.
It does.
Entirely. Which
is disappointing. Again, more disappointment.
But
if you go out now, you can still find some good pumpkins and stuff. And I don't know, maybe the Walmart is trying to keep up with some of these craft stores like Michael's or something like that. Michael's, the reason it's all a ruse. It has always been a ruse because they mark the stuff up to where most people are going, I ain't going to pay that for that. And then they start
dropping it down.
Yeah, within a week or two.
Yeah. That's their marketing tactic.
It is.
They've always done that shit.
So I don't know if the Walmart is trying to do that.
I think they've been trying to do that for a while.
Where they have moved the nearest Michael's near us is now on the Tennessee side of Bristol. So that's even further away. So we don't even try. Yeah.
I don't know what to say as far as that because it's like Walmart is doing a lot of tactics right now that back in the day they did not and was kind of abhorrent if they even tried to. And it's like it's not even like product is not even evenly distributed between stores.
No, it's not. It depends which store you go to very much.
Which is not cool.
No, it ain't. Because they want you to drive further to go to a superstore as opposed to just a regular Walmart.
Mm-hmm. You know what I say to that? Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. So, but we got what we needed, which is cat food. God.
Cat fod?
Cat fod. It's always the cat fod.
Cat fod.
Did get some of the little cling decoration bats that were way cool. Those will go up places in the house and stay there year round.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because of their classic Gothic art. Yeah, so we'll do that. Final thoughts.
Ooh.
And we need one of those. We need to find one of those wacky, wobbly.
A wacky inflatable tube man.
Yes. Only in Halloween style.
Wacky, wobbly, inflatable tube man.
Uh-huh. I would have that up close
with a
to
pumpkin head.
Too.
With a pumpkin head.
I
want a shrunken head one.
I think they had a spooky tree, but it wasn't the same quite. It doesn't have the movement to it like the wacky inflatable tube man.
You cut those arms open and top of its head, and it will fly. cut
those things.
Cut its hands off. Cut its half its head off. There we go. It will do exactly the same thing.
And maybe it's because that's usually considered like a warm weather decoration. They're amazing. They're just amazing. But
I
I'm a
don't know.
very simple person.
I want to light these snow globe inflatable yard decorations on fire
Well, we'll leave
because
that
they're
for
out
another day.
already.
It just makes me tired.
It's in Sam's Club. We saw it in Sam's.
But that wasn't in a yard.
No, but that's
I
what
thought
it
you
is.
meant
It's
in
a yard decoration.
Yes, I know that. And they've had that out since they started this year in about July.
Yeah,
For real.
this
And
shit
I'm
ain't
like,
fun.
This ain't cool.
Yeah, no, it's been worse.
Everybody's just wore out with it.
No joke. I think these last 4 years have been worse as far as the marketing with that shit.
Yes, you've got to hurry up and go further into debt, buying people stuff that they don't want nor need or nor appreciate.
Yeah.
Our bunch pretty much has stopped that. It's a matter of having a family meal. We might give other people, something simple. But as far as birthdays and different things like that, yeah. Most people, if they need it, we just go ahead and give it to them then because they need it. None of us is lacking for anything.
No.
And we're blessed. And as long as we have food and each other and usually relatively good fellowship.
Usually relatively good.
There was an incident we'll not talk about the other night, but yeah. It was just the one. It was just the one. Why is it when you tell people, it's like, look, I'm really, really struggling. There's always one that'll sit there and poke you with a proverbial stick.
There's always the one.
There's always the one.
Always the one.
It's always the one. But we lived. Everybody lived. There was no assault charges. Police were not called. Everything's good. Shots were not fired.
Yeah.
You want to tell them where we can be found?
Check us out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda, COCWS.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know other people are feeling the effects of the planetary alignments and the geomagnetic storms, and you too may be going through Saturn retrograde, or whatever the hell it is.
Saturn return.
Whatever.
The return
And
of Saturn.
if you need extra prayers or something, for real, put that in the comment section because we have lots of experience praying for folks. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye. I'm full of artificial sweetness. What? What?